up, you guys? I'm back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Living Sanctuary. If you haven't been here before, I'm Mish, and I'm a 30-something-year-old lady who recently got laid off and is trying new different things while also applying for jobs and just trying to figure out life. This channel has really been like a therapeutic thing for me in talking about my feelings and emotions, different topics, and today I really wanted to talk about failure and more so the fear of failure. And I thought, what better thing to do than paint to talk about failure? If you've noticed, if you've watched my videos before, we're in a little bit different of an environment. We're inside because it's been raining, and when it's been raining and then gets hot, it gets humid, and that's when the mosquitoes love to come out. And if you know me, you know I'm a mosquito magnet, and I have very pretty big reactions. My skin whelps up pretty bad. Have to take like a Benadryl and be conked out for a while when I get lit up like I probably would if I stayed outside. But anyways, back to today's topic, which is the fear of failure, and why I chose painting. So I have been painting with watercolors, which, you know, really wasn't my favorite medium, but has allowed me to overcome some of my fears of perfectionism. And what I'm trying to do is draw some lavender, paint some lavender. I tried before, and this one's okay. It's not terribly wrong, but if you see right here, there is a wildly unproportioned bee to this lavender. Maybe it was a carpenter bee. I don't know. It didn't work out the way that I wanted it to, and then I got frustrated and, you know, started to do another one. Got frustrated again. As you can see, I did a very large unproportioned bee again. I'm not sure why I do that. I didn't like the way these looked, and I was getting really frustrated and, you know, didn't really like what was coming out. So I took a break and, you know, now trying to do it again. And normally, for me, because I have been, I'm a recovering perfectionist. Normally for me, what would happen is I just wouldn't do it anymore because it would frustrate me so much to the point where I don't like the feeling of like not doing things perfectly the first time, which, you know, makes no sense because the only way to get better is to keep trying. But for some reason in my head, sometimes it's just like, no, just stop. If you just stop, then you don't have to be upset about it anymore. And if you see me looking off to the side, I do have like a reference photo that I'm going off of. It's off of Pinterest. It's not going to look like this. It's going to look like whatever I do. And I'm going to be okay with that. So whether it turns out beautiful, ugly, who knows, I'm still going to do it. Which is kind of like with life. So, you know, as I previously mentioned, I am unemployed. I got laid off of my job in April of this year. And honestly, it was something that I prayed for. I was miserable at my job. I was a corporate girly. I was really good at what I did, but I just didn't believe in it anymore. The industry that I was in just felt icky, and I didn't really feel like I was making a big difference in anybody's life. You know, sometimes with the people that were under my charge, I did feel that I was helping them, but I felt like I was focusing more on the company and their goals and what they needed rather than, you know, what do I need to be fulfilled in life. And yeah, it just wasn't, I didn't want to be there anymore. And, you know, I thought about quitting and got a really clear message from Spirit after going to a retreat that I needed to leave that job because it was just killing me inside. I didn't feel fulfilled. I was pretty miserable. It affected my relationships, and I needed to do something different. And then lo and behold, after that message, I started saving up money, like wasn't spending on anything, and started to look for other opportunities, and was, still a little stressed out about it because I had been in this job for, well, this field specifically for probably 7-8 years, and the thought of doing something new was kind of scary. Specifically trying to do something new and not being good at it. With someone like me who is just used to being talented. And I don't mean to say that in a like conceited way or anything like that, but I have been in life very good at a lot of things and just wasn't used to, honestly, like thinking about things too hard or working on things too hard, because I just had some natural gifts and talents that were beneficial for the world that I was in. And so then I was, while I'm like debating on what do I do next while I'm still, saving for, just in case I just need to rage quit because I'm so miserable in this space, I got laid off. And I was so incredibly happy and scared, but mostly excited for what was to come next for me. And now that I'm in it, I'm still honestly in that scared space of like, what am I doing with my life? What am I actually good at? I've spent most of my life thinking that I'm pretty good at a lot of things, but also lack the confidence to try something new and allow myself to be a beginner again, which is why I've been doing things that I'm not exactly comfortable with, like painting with watercolor. It's very hard for me to do things that I'm not naturally good at. So I figured might as well get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I don't know if I'll finish this painting by the time I'm done talking, but I'll take a picture and probably edit it in, or have my brother edit it in, because I'm not editing any of these things. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just talking to myself. I'm trying to embrace the uncomfortableness of doing something new, and like especially with this YouTube channel. Like the last video I uploaded, which was probably I guess by the time I upload this, it might be a couple of days or whatever, but really just talking about perceptions and how people view you and how it's all made up in your head. I didn't like that video. I hated it. I thought I was rambling and that I don't really make any sense, but how am I going to get better unless I continue trying and continue to just put myself out there? So whether you liked it or hated it, that's neither here nor there. I'm just working on accepting myself and all of my flaws that come with it. Yeah, I feel like I'm rambling now again, and I'll probably have issues with this video as well, to be quite honest. I run at a level of like excellence. I love to be excellent. That's something that I've been working on with my recovering perfectionism, is instead of trying to be perfect, trying to do my best at any stage. And that has helped in a way, but it can also mess me up a little bit in that, like, oh, what is my best? And it's going to look different every day, and it shouldn't stop me from wanting to try. The fear shouldn't stop me from trying to do something new, something different, from trying again, and also failing, because it really just depends on what you think failure is. And to me, failure is like your stopping point. Like, well, it used to be. Like, you failed, you better not do that again, because that was embarrassing. But now I'm, growing and learning myself, in that, failing is not the end point. It's honestly just the starting point for something new. possibly exciting or different, or even just learning that that specific thing was not for you or for me specifically. And failure is a step forward. It's never a step backwards. I mean, it can be a step backwards, but not in the sense that, like, you've lost something. You've gained new knowledge into what you like, what you don't like, and what possibly is next. And that's where I am, and kind of the scary place for me is I don't know what's next. I'm really just trying, and that's all I can really do at this stage is try my best. My best on some days, like today I'm pretty tired, and I've been trying to not take naps during the day, because whenever I go back to work or find a job, I probably won't have time to take a nap. And so I've been trying to make sure that I keep myself together with that. But I mean, why force myself to be exhausted when I don't have to? So I took a nap today after I worked out at the gym, and I worked out pretty hard. I felt like I was going to throw up, which was great. Not really great. I did it, and it was a great nap. I feel a lot more refreshed and able to record this video. And yeah. Trying to get through life. That's what I feel like right now. I'm just trying to get through life, trying to get through my days. But there is, like, it's not, like, I don't feel hopeless. I just feel lost. I don't know what to do about that other than continue trying to search and try different things. And you might be feeling lost too. If you're watching this, unless you just, love to hear me talk, you're probably in that space too. I firmly believe that, what you need will find you at the right time. And, maybe me in this space of uncertainty is what you need, because you're probably in an uncertain place in life too. So what I'm really just trying to say is keep trying, keep going. Failure is not the end of the world. It's just the beginning to finding what really works for you. And you never know, that one failure that, you thought was, the worst thing ever could honestly lead you to the best possible life. So I would say failing is better than doing nothing. Which is why I'm recording this video, because I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to kind of sit and watch videos on YouTube or do some training courses. I just kind of wanted to ignore the feelings that I'm having, because they don't feel nice. They make me feel weak. And I know I'm not weak, but it does still make me feel that way sometimes. And I wouldn't want to say that to anybody else. I wouldn't want to say, like, oh, you're weak for feeling this way. So it's better for me to say it out loud so I can combat it and be like, dude, you wouldn't say that to a friend. You wouldn't even say it to a stranger, that you're weak for feeling lost in, an uncertain place. Keep trying. Keep going. It really doesn't make sense to quit what you're doing, especially if you're passionate about it. Like, I'm passionate about art, though I'm not always good at it. Sometimes it's just like blah, but I love it, and it's something that calms me down, keeps my mind at ease, and something that I continue to get better at as I go. And the progress will not always be like, whoa, like today I did this and the next day I did that and it was so much better. Sometimes it looks the exact same. Like I'm looking at this and it looks the exact same. I'm still going to share when I'm done, but yeah, it looks the same right now, and I know it's different. There's, subtle changes from things that I'm learning about watercolor and how to add and take away and all that jazz. I think I'm going to end the video here because I don't really have much else to say other than do it afraid. Do it with doubt. Because it's not going to just go away. You're always going to experience doubt. You're always going to experience fear. And those are the things that are here to hold you back. And, they do serve a purpose. And those feelings have probably helped you in certain instances where you've, had a gut feeling about something like, that would possibly put you in danger. But painting is not going to put me in danger. Posting this video is not going to put me in danger. Applying for jobs, looking for new professions is not going to put me in danger. The danger that I feel is the danger to my ego, which is real and not at the same time. That's the thing that I'm afraid of hurting is my ego. So whether this turns out beautiful or it turns out ugly, I'm still going to share it with you guys at the end. But I just hope that you do it anyway. Hey peeps, I'm back. As promised, sending you the finished painting with some proportionately sized bees to the lavender. It's not exactly the way that I wanted it to be. It's not perfect, but it is better than what I did before, and I am pleased with it because I kept trying, and it's better than before, so at least I'm making progress. I hope that you continue trying and continue making progress in your lives too, and don't be afraid to try something new. Love y'all. I lift things up and put them down.